you ever wanted to play a 2D dungeon diving roguelike co-op survival game where you can spend hours upon hours trapped in a 2 by 10 meter ditch in the ground created by your partner's overzealous use of a cursed wand? Well, have we got the game for you? Vagante, Vagante, whatever the game's called, this could be the game that keeps you entertained for hours. Let's see what we've got.
So, let's be honest here. I don't know what to call this game. Is it Vagante, Vagant, Vagant, Vagante? I don't know. But what I can tell you is it's actually quite a fun little game, but quite difficult to control, which we'll go into shortly. But let's have a look first at the menu that we have. So, as we have been doing, we'll jump into the options menu first and have a look at what we've got. So we go options and settings. You've got your music volume, got your effects volume, gamma correction, your zoom, whether you want it close up to to your character or not, but you do lose out on some of the map. Then you've got your minimap scale, which we've got down to a minimum at the moment. Then you've got all your graphical settings here, which is your particles, your full screen, enable shaders, etc, etc. So again, quite a basic menu here, as are most indie games, but enough details or enough settings here for you to, if you do have a PC on the lower spec, then you can actually remove some of these things to make it a little bit smoother and run better. So yeah, quite basic menu there. Let's have a look at the controls. So again, basic controls. You've got multiple players, player 1, player 2, 3 and 4. So you can all use the same device if you want to, same keyboards. Probably wouldn't recommend that, but if you want to, you could have 4 players playing on one keyboard. You can rebind all of your keys, so click here to unbind them and then set them as you want them to be, which probably would be at an advantage to do that, purely based on, if you look here, you've got things like jump is S, melee attack is D, range attack F, cast spell A, swap/cancel W. So it gets a bit confusing when you are playing the game, but you can get used to it, or you can change it yourself. I haven't got around to changing it myself, to be honest, but I think it is something that I will look into changing, because I just couldn't really get on with the controls as they were. But definitely great that you can change those. And then we'll look at the unlocks as well. As you play the game, you will unlock these backgrounds. So it's nothing really particularly useful, but just to look nice. And then if you see further on, we have locked classes as well that you can unlock to use. And then you have the different game modes as well, which, looking at it, get certain levels, but the special one defeats something, we don't know what. So we haven't actually unlocked anything just yet. We haven't played too much of the game, but we have had some fun with it, playing a quick solo, and also playing it co-op with Mr. Songs of Rays. So here we have the options to play online, which you can create a private lobby or a custom level, or you can jump into someone else's game, or you can just start a new game, which will be then on a solo. So once you get here, you get to choose whether you want to be a knight, a rogue, a mage. Oh, I thought the stretch. No, must not have those unlocked. So yeah, rogue, knight, or mage. With these, so for example, if we go for the rogue, you start off with the bow, arrow, and dagger. If we go for the mage, you get a staff and a spell. And then if we go for the knight, you will get just a sword. With this, so obviously you don't have a range attack as the knight. As the rogue, you have less health, but you have the ranged attack, which is the bow. And you have the melee attack as well. And then if we go as the mage, again, even less health, but you have the advantage of the spell and also the range attack that you do get with the melee weapon as well, which you can just use as a melee weapon. But let's jump in and see a bit more gameplay and see what sort of things you can actually expect to see, experience, how you can die, because we did a lot of that, and what happens when you're playing co-op when you do die. So the game itself is a sort of dungeon diver, or more like I guess a cave diver here, where everything everything in there is out to kill you. So you can see we've just passed on the floor there some spikes. If you fall onto those, instant death. If you walk through them, you're fine. Then we have the slimes here, again, trying to kill you. So you have to kill them before they kill you. Quite easy to kill. Just a couple of hits, probably about 10, 12 health, as you can see with the hit markers or hit points going up, and you'll kill them. As you can see here, monsters you can actually jump on top of, and they won't hurt you. I believe this is the case with all monsters, from what I could see. So it seemed to work quite well with the slimes, but I have done it with other monsters as well whilst we're playing. Then you've got the other animals, so obviously you can see with that chicken and that rat, they seem fairly harmless. And then you have the shopkeepers as well. And as you'll see very shortly, you actually do come across dragons as well. So the shopkeepers, as you can see top right, you have some gold. As you collect that whilst you play, you want to spend that here to get new items, new armor, new accessories like rings, which will give you certain different powers or different defensive attributes. And then you've also got, in the game, there are like fountains that you can sort of tribute some of your money to, and that will give you extra health, which is very important because you do seem to lose a lot, or at least I do, lose a lot of health in this game quite quickly. The enemies are very unforgiving and seem to be easier for them to hit you than it is for you to hit them at times. And then you do have the traps as well. As you can see here, we've just knocked 2 pressure plates, which has caused those stones to fall from the sky. And once again, those are an instant death if they fall on top of you. So things you've got to look to avoid are the pressure plates that will kill you, drop things on you and kill you. There's the arrow shooters that we just saw there that went into the back of their enemy. Enemies themselves, and also spikes that you can fall upon. And I believe there is fall damage as well, so you don't want to be falling from too high of a height. So a question you might have then is, well, what happens to you in co-op, I guess, because that's what we're playing at the moment. What happens to you when you do die? So it's actually not the end of the world if you do die. You will come back, as you'll see in a moment. So Songs of Rage there is going to drop down here. He's going to die. And then he'll reappear. And you'll see that he has now become a skeleton. So as a skeleton, you are still able to play the game. You're still able to run through it with your co-op partner. But you won't be able to use the weapons and equipment that you had as your previous class. So, for example, he was playing as a knight, but now, as you can see, he's coming back as a skeleton. Still pick up items, etc. But as a skeleton, he has a melee ability and the ability to throw bones. Now, I don't know if those are his own bones that he's throwing, or if he's finding other bones that he throws, but yeah, so you can throw those bones to do damage. So you got a range attack and a melee attack. But then if you do die again, I believe that then may be game over for that character. You can then, if you don't die, you can actually get through to the next stage. So there's always like a interim section between your cave. So once you get to the end or to the exit of this cave, you can then, as the living character, find a gravestone with your teammate buried below it. And that will then, if you activate it, explode. It'll actually deal damage to you. So you are sacrificing some of your own health for this. but it'll deal damage to you and bring your teammate back to life as well, allowing you to both continue on. You can then rest at a campfire, which will give you 20 health back and allow you to try and continue through the next stage to survive and see if you can, continue, get more health and play through the game. If you both die at any point, so if you both become skeletons, that is game over. A skeleton cannot activate the cross or the gravestone, to get you back, but a living soul can do. So as you can see here, we've just got a key to unlock this chest, or this lock here, which we thought was a chest. Turns out it was actually a passageway to the next section. So we'll show you now that you can actually bring your teammate back from the dead. You can see I've got 20 health myself, and we will lose some of that initially when we bring him back. Something to note as well is once you pass through different areas, it does bring your teammate as well. So no matter how far away they are, it will bring them with you. And here's the gravestone or the grave marker, which is a cross, and the campfire, which allows you to heal. So you'll heal for 20 when you're in here, but when you actually do the or respawn your teammate through the marker, it will damage you by 20 as well. So you will lose health. That sacrifice is necessary to bring your teammate back. So the game as a whole, what do we think of it? Well, I think we played it for around about 30-40 minutes or so. We had a few run-throughs, a few failures, a few fairly successful runs, but in the end, we never actually got to the end to complete it, so we do need to spend more time actually running through it, learning the mechanics and getting better at it. There is a lot of, so you can see there we're leveling up as well, so you can level up your character in the game as you're leveling up and collecting items. You'll get higher stats, so like intelligence, strength, dexterity, etc. So it is definitely something that has a lot of multiple playthrough potential, and it's something we are going to look into playing some more of as well. So 100% it's gripped our attention. We're looking forward to playing more of it, and hopefully you guys will play some of it too. We can always get some of you in with us as well if you wanted to. It's up to 4 players. But yeah, 100% great fun to play, but very, very challenging. Something that it's got quite a big skill gap to it. It's more of you got to think about what you're doing rather than just run and gun, because you are going to die if you don't sort of plan ahead. But 100%, I do recommend getting this game. It's around about, I think, £11 or dollars on the Steam store at the moment. You can get it on consoles as well. I believe Nintendo Switch is one of them. And again, that would be great just to, sit in bed, sit in the toilet, sit on a train, and play a few rounds of this. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to get notifications as to when we go live and release videos as well on the Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. And as always, keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and we'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.